finances, your family, your friends, for everything, y'all. What's going on? How are you doing today? Today, we're going to talk about learning how to fight the good fight for your faith and your finances daily. You live in an awesome life, and to make that happen, it is not automatic or unintentional. You're going to have to fight for it. So, in today's workshop, what you're going to discover is some tools that we use and things that we make sure that happens every day to help you to be able to do that. And someone who is fighting the good fight, what you're basically doing is you're trusting in God for His faith and working diligently to try to make that happen. And you're doing, you have daily good choices, and you help others, and you always work on improving and doing things God's way. So that's what we're going to talk to you about today. So if you're new to tuning in with us, I want to welcome you out. My name is Cathy McReynolds. We're with Bible Business Academy. And what we do is we help people build business with biblical principles. So make sure that if you don't have them, you grab your show notes, y'all. Grab your show notes. I'll talk to you about that in a second. But before we get started, if you want to go ahead and hit that share button, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Got my phone, my handy dandy phone right here. So we're going to hit that share button. Let me get back to Facebook here. And we're going to hit that share button. And then I'm going to ask you to also do the same thing so that we can help some people out. You hear that out there? Okay, so let me hit this share and let's share this out to a couple places. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and if you're catching this during the live or if you're catching it during the replay, so that we can get it to a couple other people. I'm going to share it to our group here. Got that shared, and let me see if I can. Let's see. It says right post. Anytime hold on, y'all. Let's share this right post and share it out. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Also, let me know what type of business you have. Do you have a business that is a service-based business? Is it a product-based business? What is it? What type of business do you have? And we're going to talk today about how you can fight the good fight and what that exactly does that mean, and how you can help more people out. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get this party started. I don't know. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can. Okay, it says copy link. And I'm going to share this out to a couple more people. But as you come on, let me know where you are tuning in from. And let me know if you're catching this during the live or the replay. And also, what type of business you have. I'm trying to get this shared out. I normally go live on my business page, but I decided to do it from the personal page. And it's not sharing like it normally does. But hold on 1 second. We're going to talk about fighting the good fight, y'all. Anybody ready to fight that good fight out there and make some things happen? I'm going to go ahead and paste this link to, it says can't post comments to destination. Okay, so that's okay. So guys, what's happening, everybody? We're going to talk about fighting the good fight, helping some people out there. Okay, I got that published out. We'll go ahead and get this party started. I'm going to flip over to the other page so that I can talk to you guys as we're doing this. So today we're going to talk about learn how to fight the good fight daily for your faith and your finances. So a lot of times when it comes to business and faith, or money and faith, a lot of people don't talk about that. But if you look in the scripture, if you read the Bible, they're like Jesus literally talked, more than double about money and finances and things like that than actually getting into heaven. A lot of people are like, are you sure? Yes. Especially with Google nowadays, you can actually just take a look at it and get the answers that you need. And so because of that, that's why we have Bible Business Academy, because we want to show you it's not that you can't have money and also get in heaven at the same time. You just got to focus on God. You got to make sure that you are focusing on him and him first, and you're doing the right things to help people out. Our scripture for today, guys, is in 2 Timothy 4:7. It says, I have fought the good fight, I've finished the race, and I have kept the faith. And that's how you got to look at this biblical principle. And that's what we do at Bible Business Academy. We help you use biblical principles to grow your business. So if you want to know more about that, make sure you go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com. Also, guys, you can grab your show notes. You can download those if you haven't already. And inside your show notes, you're going to see, actually, I'm working right from a show note today. But also, just wanted to let you know, inside of your show notes, you're going to see all the different academies that we offer, what type of academies, and also about our mentorship. So you can learn more about that. And then you will also, inside of there, you're going to have a little coupon where you can get your free newsletter sent to you every single month, and also discounts off of the memberships or one of the programs that we have to offer. So make sure you go grab a copy of that. And if you have questions or you put them in the comments, I can't see the comments now, but what I will do is go back to them at the end and make sure we get all of your questions answered so that we can help you fight the good fight for your faith and your finances daily so that you can create that lifestyle that you desire. So let's go ahead and dive into what we're talking about today. So anytime that you're watching this show, we come live every single Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And you look at the title. I want you to ask yourself, why did you stop and why did you decide to watch this title? And because anytime you start something, and we're going to talk more about that, in a second, what your intent is. When you know your intent, you actually open up to receive more from what you're watching, doing, or learning. So make sure you take a look at what your intent is and why you needed to watch the show and the things that you need to follow up to do. So when we're training you here, we don't just want you to listen to be entertained. We want you to listen so you can grow. You can use this knowledge so you can go out and help more people and then give back to the kingdom so that we can grow God's kingdom and do his work for him. So know what your intentions are. Set your goals before you even get started. And so I think it's like 16 steps that I'm going to talk about. And all of those are in our planner. We have a planner that'll be out this week. So you'll learn more about that. And I'll be able to share that with you probably on next Thursday's broadcast or maybe before that you can actually purchase and get this calendar. You can see I have it like totally filled out here with all of my stuff that I already have in there. But I'm going to share some of the sections today as to what's in there and why they're there and why you should consider utilizing this and getting this planner for yourself so that you can make things happen. So let's start with number one, why set goals? There's a scripture that when Jesus was sharing a parable and he talked about the builder and he said, who of you would build say you're going to build a tower, but you don't sit down and count the cost. If you don't sit down and count the cost and what you need to do, he said, you're not going to be able to finish it and you're not going to get it done. And then, in some translations, they say he's going to laugh at you and then you're going to feel sad, depressed, and all of that other stuff. And you're going to think it doesn't work. And it's not that it doesn't work, because if you're attempting, like, there's nothing new under the sun. Yes, we do create different new technologies and different things like that. But if you're starting a business, 9 times out of 10, or probably like pretty much 10 out of 10 for the most part, someone else has done it before. So you got to set goals. You got to know exactly what you desire to happen, from the people that you want to help, from the income that you want to make, from the products or the services that you want to offer. If you look at the back of this will give you an example. This is this is my particular one, but it just shows you right here all the different plans for Bible Business Academy. So we sat down and literally put together a vision, a 10-year vision for what this academy is going to look like. And that's what we help you with when it comes to this planner. It has a 10-year game plan that you want to actually look at when it comes to building your business. This is part of fighting a good fight. You can't fight a good fight in a year or two. It's like a decade. Sometimes it's a lifetime of trying to make things happen in order to get things going the way that you want them to go. So you definitely want to set goals. And what goals do is they keep you focused on where you're going. And also it lets you measure where you're at inside of, and that's biblical. When you look at some of the scriptures, I was doing some studying last night, and it talked about the numbers. Like there's a reason why God put the numbers in the Bible, like 3,000 souls were saved, like X amount was due. You need to go here, and like there's numbers all through the Bible. So if you're not setting goals and writing things down, then that's not biblical. You want to make sure that that happens. A lot of people, they'll throw out and they'll use that number of retirement. There's no place in the Bible where I see it says you should retire. Like we're here for a reason, and that reason is to love God, lead people to him, and help build the kingdom. Like when you understand that, you start to operate differently, and you set goals to make that happen. Now you can establish your plans, but he will direct your steps. So that's important to know. The second thing that's in that planner is the importance of gratitude. And I want to share just why that's important. I'll tell a little story today. Especially when you're in business, something will always be going wrong, right? Something will always happen. Someone like stole a bunch of my mom's flower plants. She if you ever seen her house, she's 87 and she loves flowers. And somebody took a bunch of them off of her tree where she hangs them at late last night. And I'm like, number one, don't steal for the elderly, but number two, she would have actually gave them to someone, but did it like for a nanosecond. There wasn't even, a regret or a mad or anger or anything like that. Something's always going to happen. So you got to have gratitude in your business. And that's flowers we're talking about. I had a business, a daycare center. I got a text that said, after like 5 years of being in this building, that said, hey, we just sold the building. You got to get out in 30 days. And I just looked at it like, oh, okay. And the reason why I was able to have that gratitude and immediately turn around and just start praying and being thankful is simply because of being in the Word, understanding that business is not my life. That business was just a season of my life, and there's more to come. So don't ever hold on to anything and get all, uptight about anything that's happening. Find a reason to be grateful. And every single day when you're writing in that planner, you're going to have a place to start your day with gratitude. Because when you start with gratitude and being grateful, there's no place in your life for negativity, to speak ill of anyone, to, talk negative and do all of that stuff, because you're focused and you're grateful because you have those goals and that gratitude, that little GG, and you know exactly where you're going. So you have to stay focused on that. The next one is being intentional. And I told you that in the beginning of this, and we have this written out in the show notes every week. What is your intent? When you're building a business, I've been a business owner for 25 years. I've had businesses that have had success. I've had businesses that have had failure, but with the exception of 2008, when I literally lost everything when the world crashed down. I went to work for the bank as a financial advisor for about a year and a couple months. And I knew I wasn't sitting in the calling that God had for me, and that is to be an entrepreneur. This is not for everyone, right? You have to have a certain type of God had to give this to you as a gift in order for you to stay in this like industry and be an entrepreneur. Now I'm going on like 25, 26 years. And before I used to get, oh my God, and freak out all the time. But now it's just like, okay, all right, God, what you got for me next? What do you want me to do next? And if you keep that mindset, because you stay in the word and you stay on his word and you let it get into your heart and into your soul, then you will last a long time. And that starts with being intentional. So your intent in business should be to do God's will, to work for him and not for people. That's the whole key. And then so that you can give back to the churches, you can give back to the elderly, you can give back to the community. I was just telling someone, I was like, man, I am like, when my business hits $1 million, I said, I will be able to give the church 100,000. And then I thought, you know what? I don't even really care. I'm not a money person. I don't really care about that, but I can give them 200,000. Can you think about the lives that will change, the difference that would make in someone else's life? So when you focus on and you're intentional about the things that you want to do and why you're doing it, it just gives you more energy. You get excited. You want to go out there and you want to fight the good fight because you know what's going to happen in the end. The next thing that you want to do is you want to role play daily. So why role play daily? So whatever it is, somebody is always selling something to someone. People go, oh, I don't want to be in sales. You're selling your kids, on cleaning the house. You're selling, a mate on dating you. You're selling your spouse on doing you. We are always selling something. So you should, just like if you're a singer, even though you can have the best voice in the world, you can be so gifted with talent that God gives you, but guess what you still do? You still practice, you still drill, you still go to sing, you still have rehearsal, no matter what it is that you're doing. So what areas in your business do you need to role play, or who do you need to be role playing with? I have, some salespeople, and we role play. We role play what they're going to be saying, how they're going to be saying it, and it's a daily thing. It just doesn't go away. So if you think, oh, I can just role play one day and you'll be good, no, it's not the case. Every single day, at least 6 days a week, take a day of rest, just like the word says. You should be practicing out loud your skill so that you can get better with it. I remember when I first decided to come online and start coaching, for almost 2 years, I went live every single day. Why did I do that? Because I knew, like, speaking is not my thing, but I do it because I have to do it and it's part of what I do. So the only way that I could get better at it was to do it every day. Now, am I still perfect at it? No, absolutely not. You'll hear me, I say a word wasn't a word until it was created or used, enough until it got into the dictionary. So it's not how you deliver that. You just keep learning. One of the, like Warren Buffett said, one of the best skills that or classes or things that you should take is public speaking, because most people fear public speaking. I was there. I still feel fear public speaking, but I do it anyway. I was laughing. I was telling, a friend of mine, I'm like, we at the church, they had Lady Hat Day. So they had us go up and take pictures, which, okay, you're taking a picture and you guys probably see me posting pictures, but that's not like me. I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. But as I'm standing there smiling and waiting for them to take the picture, my lip was just like shaking, like uncontrollably, because I'm not comfortable in that situation. And I'm like, I hope they can't see my lip shaking, but I'm just going to stay here and smile. So it's totally different. And I remember when I used to first to have to hit and take that selfie, I'd be like, it's not that I don't care about, I don't care about what people say and how you look and all of that, but it's just like putting yourself out there. So you have to role play. You have to role play what you're going to say. You want to role play what your clients are going to say. I remember we used to get in the mirror and we used to smile and practice body language, how you're going to talk to people. Are you smiling when you're talking, or do you have that, you know how they say, are you mad, or you mean mugging? No, it's just the way your face looks when there's not a smile on that. So maybe you got to role play your smile, your body language. Find out what it is that you have to role play. Put yourself around some people who will tell you, hey, what do you think I'm good at? What do you think I need to get better at? And now ask people who are doing what you want to do so that you can get a professional, honest opinion from someone, and just not someone who is opinionated. It's totally different. And then role play that. Put that on your game plan. Be intentional about it. The next one is why your most important job is being a marketer. And I'm going to talk about that in a second, guys. But if you're getting benefit from this, do me a favor, just drop your favorite emoji down in the comment sections and let us know that this is making sense and resonating with you. And if you want to build a business with biblical principles, make sure you go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com, BibleBusinessAcademy.com. You'll see it in the post right here that we're doing live. You'll see all the information right in there, so you can just click right there on the link. And we actually have a free report. It's like a 46-page report that will give you information on why it makes sense to build a business with biblical principles. And so now let's get back to why your most important job is being a marketer. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, a lot of times business owners, and I used to do the same thing, you don't even think about marketing, or you hire marketing out, but that should be the number one thing that you focus on. And all marketing is finding qualified people and putting them in front of qualified people that you role play with, your sales team, your managers, people that you need to grow your business. And so as a marketer, as a strategic thinker, as a tactical thinker, as someone who's fighting the good fight, as a leader, you want to really, really, truly master marketing. You want to get that down. Those are some of the things when you look at some of our academies that we have, that we literally, whether it's online marketing or offline marketing, direct marketing, we help you with that in terms of the implementation and what to do and how to do it to make sure you get that done. So that is crucial. It's like you go to school to get a degree in marketing. So imagine how important that is. So if you're a business owner and you're not focused on marketing, you definitely want to make that happen. The next one is time blocking. So what is time blocking? Time, like all of us, I don't care who you are, what part of the world you're in, if you're on a 24-hour time clock, you got 24 hours. That's it. That's 160 hours in the week. Everybody has it, but either you're going to manage that time, or that time's going to manage you. So you got to make sure that you're managing that time. That's like when they tell people, if you go to prison, go do the time, but don't let the time do you. Weird example, but you get the point. So you want to literally sit down and block out your hours, exactly what you're going to do. You can do them I do them in a 3-hour increment, and then every 50 minutes I'll use my phone to say, okay, Siri, set the timer for 50 minutes. And then I work like 50 minutes, take 10 minutes off, 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off. And I do that throughout the day, and it becomes task oriented. And then you turn your phone off during that time period so that you're not disturbed, and you're not, when you get an email in, or the phone rings, or you get a text message, or you start scrolling through Facebook, anytime something dings and takes you off of your game, your business, your focus, then you're saying that is more important than what you're doing. And when you time block and you literally shut everything down for a certain period, you're now saying to yourself, okay, I'm focused. I know what my goals are. I know exactly what I need to do, and I'm going to get it done. And this is the only time that I have been allowed it by God to make that happen. And then you just go after it and get it done. It's also important, guys, to create a balanced lifestyle. The Bible says, enjoy the fruit of your labor, and eat, drink, and be merry. You can't do that if you're working 24/7, 7 days a week. God said, take one day off. He made the Sabbath day, whatever day you decide to celebrate it on, He made that for you. If He took a rest and He worked 6 days and He took one off, so should you. There was a reason why He put there. You have to be, we call it your faith, your finances, your firm, which is your business, your fundamentals, is which learning some of this knowledge that we're talking about. Also having fun, your fitness, all of that, and your finances, all of that is part of creating a balanced life. And you have to plan that. As I said in the beginning, nothing is just happens. Everything has to be intentional. And the more intentional you are about it and putting together your plans, like Jesus said in that parable that I was sharing with you, who of you would build a tower without laying out a plan? Don't disregard a plan. Don't wake up with an idea and be like, oh, I'm going to go implement that today. No, sit down and take your pen to the paper, write it out, seek some wise counsel before you actually begin. If you study the book of Nehemiah, you'll see a great example. We have some trainings on that, so you can go search that on YouTube and just see some of the ways that we teach you that Nehemiah actually built the wall utilizing plans and his strategic, and going into the city and not saying anything for a minute or telling anybody about what he was doing, because he had to, you had to do some homework. You got to do some research. And that's all part of it. Even when you join Bible Business Academy, you will have to do some research. We have a 25-page research document. A lot of people don't even think about research. Yeah, they research the product that they want, but they don't research the business. They don't research who are their best customers. They try to market to everything and everybody, and all of that's part of that. And doing that helps you to create a balanced lifestyle. I know I'm kind of talking about all of them at the same time. You also want to have a connect and a communication schedule. What's a connect and communication schedule? See, we're put here not for ourselves, not to sit and do busy work, not to get behind, all the marketing and creating. If you're creating so much, you're not making money, right? You got to be out amongst the people, helping them, getting connections, building the team. And so that in order for the team to work, you got to have the dream. You can probably get to a couple 100,000 by yourself, but beyond that, if you want to go beyond that, you need a team. You need a team to make that dream come true. I was just thinking, when I hit my first 6 figures, I did have a team. I had a team scheduling appointments. So while they were scheduling them and making sure my calendar stayed booked, I was out running appointments as a financial advisor. So no matter what it is in life, you need a team to help you to get things done. And so when you have that communication schedule, like normally, I'm still on the phone. I make phone calls. I do that from 3 to 6. That's the time that, I'm dialing. I'm smiling and dialing, talking to people, welcoming people, congratulating people, answering questions. So I have a schedule that I know I'm going to work, and I'm going to do, as soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm reading the word or listening to, to a sermon or something. And then I'm doing something on marketing, training, advertising, where I'm learning. And then as soon as I sit down at my desk, I'm shooting out, emails for Bible Business Academy or IceFit Studio or other company. And then I'm doing the post. So, and then there's specific days when we do things. So you want to have a schedule. If you collapse today and you couldn't work, or you're gone, can someone come into your business because you have systems in place and pick up and go? That's part of the connection and communication schedule. That should always be a part of your plan. The next one is the money is in the follow-up. People don't they feel as if they're bothering someone if they're following up. But if you life happens, you don't know. One of my salespeople came to me and said, this lady said she was going to call me back, and I sat there and waited for her to call me back, and she didn't. I'm like, what do you mean you waited for her to call you back? He's like, well, I just sat there. I'm like, so you haven't made any other calls? You were just waiting? He's like, yeah. And I said, well, how'd that work out for you? Right? Because you don't wait. Yeah, and it's not personal that they didn't call you back. This person owns a spa. I'm like, so I want you to put yourself in a spa owner's position. What could happen during the day to stop you from going to the phone? Maybe you got a lot of customers in. Maybe your building is flooding, or maybe you're really busy, or maybe someone called off and you had to do something. So when you put yourself in the shoes of someone else, you'll realize it's not that they don't want to talk to you. It's just that life happened. Maybe, you're calling someone and they have children, and the children are crying and they got babies, or whatever the case is. Always stop and ask yourself, what are they doing? Maybe they're busy in their life. You can even say a prayer for them, because most people, like when I'm calling people, they're happy to talk to you. They're like, now you get some people who will like hang up and they won't talk to you, but they're like, oh wow, like you actually called. They're sometimes shocked because most companies never pick up the phone and call people. They think people are always supposed to call them. And then when you ask the right questions, that not just trying to get them to buy something, but you're trying to serve them and help them. And that's, just like God said, love thy neighbor, love him, and then love thy neighbor as you love yourself. So that's the same thing in business. You got to serve people like you want to be served. So remember, do what you say you're going to do, follow up, and have a follow-up game plan. We have a 4-day follow-up game plan. And then from that 4-day, it goes to 2 weeks. From that 2 weeks, it goes to a month. And from that month, it goes to every month, and then a quarter, and then a year. So we used to say you either buy, we're going to follow up until you tell us not to, or either you buy or die. Whatever happens first, that, not literally, but you understand what I'm saying. So make sure that it generally, a sale never happens on the first call. If you do, consider yourself blessed. God has extra favor on you during that time. It takes time to make that happen, so you need that system. Is this helping you guys? Drop your favorite emoji, drop your question. Let me know which one you got the most out of it. Make sure you hit that share button, guys. And if you want to know more about our academies that we have, you can get them off the show notes. You can also go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com, and we can help, and you can learn more about them there, or you can shoot me a message and we can help you with that. The next step in all of this you'll be able to get inside of your planner, is to have a daily Bible reading habit. Like back in the day when I used to read the Bible, you got to pick the Bible up. You actually have like an actual Bible you can read. But nowadays you can have an app. Like there's an app for that. There's an app to read the Bible. And I love the app because I always say I'm an amateur at this. So you could you could tell Siri whatever chapter you want to go to, whatever the case is. But every single day you should pick up that word and read it. Why? Because God said so. He said, if you focus on my word every single day, it's going to get in your heart. It's going to get in your soul. And then, when you're going through certain situations, scriptures, the Holy Spirit will start sending scriptures to you, so you'll know what to do and you'll know how to act. You'll know how to respond. Will you get it right 100% of the time? Absolutely not. But guess what? The more you read, the more you study on the word, the more you keep him in your heart, the more you will get blessed, because you're focusing and seeking and earnestly like going and seeking God. And he said it, I didn't say it. And he will make sure that you're prosper. It is him who gives you the ability to create wealth, not because you're great, it's because he's great and he made a promise and he has to live up to that promise. So you got to know that. And inside of your planner, you're going to actually have some I call them faithformations that you can read so that you can look at that stuff and you know that it's all part of the journey. You got to fall in love with the journey. So make sure you read your word daily. The next step, oh, this is the big one. This one has ended many of entrepreneurship journeys, small business owners, MLMs, whatever you're in. This has ended it because somebody said something that hurt you. Somebody, you had, bad habits, you got hurt, and you have hangups that you couldn't get rid of, or you took it into tomorrow and the year and the decade and you didn't get rid of it. So we want to help you face your daily hurts, habits, and hangups and not take them into tomorrow. The Bible says you can get angry, right? You can get upset, but don't take it into tomorrow. So you have to learn the skill of how not to do that. And you may say easier done than said. Yes, it may be easier said than done. I mean, yes, it may be easier said than done, but I promise you, there is a technique, and we actually teach that technique in our academy of how you can go from, worrying, thinking about something for years and decades to literally within the hour of getting rid of that thought and replacing it with the thought, scripture, or affirmation or something that's going to refocus you on your goal and where you need to go. Now, the next step is do this every night. You want to absolutely do this every single night. And every single night you want to sit down and you want to begin it like you want to end it like you began it. And you want to write down what you're grateful for. That's another way you don't have to worry about going to bed being upset, because if you're sitting down and literally writing out, today I am grateful for, here's what I'm thankful for, here's what I'm thanking God for. Like, how can you cannot, like, if you study the brain cannot focus on two things at one time. It can only have one focus, and whatever your dominant thought is, whatever is in your heart, will be what comes out of you. And if you get the word down in your heart, you get God down in your heart, it will help you grow not only your business, but your life. And then the ultimate prize is to be able to get to glory with him. So that's the exciting part, and helping other people to get there. So you want to do that every single night. Every single night, you want to make sure you do that. And so let's talk about the hidden benefits of writing. You're like, Cathy, that's a lot of writing. Yeah, when you first start and you start journaling, you start writing, you start planning, it may take you an hour. There's this saying that, I think it was whoever chopped down the cherry tree. They said, when you got to chop it down, they took 4 hours to sharpen the saw, right? You got to sharpen the saw and then 1 hour to chop it down. So 4 hours to sharpen it, get it ready, make that plan, and 1 hour to do it. That's the benefit of writing. You can take an hour in the beginning. It may even take you longer when you first get started of writing down your day. You got 24 of them, right? You don't utilize all 24 of them. So take an hour, sometimes even 3 or 4, sometimes days away, and write down. Go back to what Jesus said to the guy with the tower. Who of you would not write your plan down? So if you get into the habit of doing this on a day-to-day base, 6 days a week, I promise you, you will be strong, you will be courageous. And then he say, I didn't give you. See, this is why people get timid. This is when people get, afraid. This is why when someone says something about someone or has something to say, they can't handle it because they're so used to, it's like, oh my God. They said, no, when you're writing and you're being steadfast about everything that you do, they talked about Jesus. They're going to come at you whenever you're building a business. Things are going to go wrong. So when you get in the habit of writing down your thoughts, journaling your thoughts, writing down what you want to happen, know where you're going, it will fall. Whatever comes in negative will go right back out because you've trained yourself in order to get rid of that. So that's part of fighting the good fight and keeping the faith. You can't keep that faith if you constantly allow yourself to get disappointed, that faith eventually, like it just wavers. And if you don't have faith, you know, you won't get things done, and you have to have faith, and faith without works is dead. And this, what I'm sharing with you today, a lot of people don't share with you, but this is what it takes for entrepreneurs, business owners, to get things done. There's a lot of things that you got to get done, so you need that team around you, and you are always orchestrating stuff, so you have to be the calm person and the director as to what's happening around you, so that you can help other people do that. And then read this daily. So read this daily is the word. Pick up the Bible. I said that earlier. Pick up the Bible and read it every single day. You want to make sure, like literally in your planner, guys, you can write out the scriptures that you're studying, and you can focus it on, like, if there's a certain area, like maybe you got an attitude problem, then get all the scriptures on attitude. Maybe you have a servant problem, and get all the scriptures on that. Whatever it is that you want to get better at, maybe you want to know, how to live in God's will, then get all the scriptures on that and start writing them down in your book, so you know what you're studying. Like, have your own personal syllabus, your own agenda as to what you want to learn, what you want to do, what you want to know, so that you can become who God created you to become. He said, I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. And we are all made in his image. So don't you think, just like if you have children, that you want your kids to do, to do great in life, to have all the things that they desire? That's the same thing, in the same way that he feels for you. So you want to make sure that you do that. And then the next thing you do is just any questions that you have on anything that we talked about, whether you drop those in the comments, or whether you drop those in the comments, or whether you drop them in the comments, or you think of them later, you can put them in there. Then I always go back and check, and I'll answer those, or you can simply message me. But if you want to know more about the planner when it comes out, text FIGHT to 1-833-BIBLE-BIZ to receive additional training, ask questions, and learn about our free courses. And then you'll find at the end of your show notes, you're going to have some questions, not about the broadcast, but about your business. Like, what challenges are you currently struggling? What's at stake at your business? So go through, I'm not going to go through all of these, and you can always book a call with calendly.com. Call Cathy. You can book that right on our website anytime that you like. And then right here is to let you know about our academy, your coupons, and what academies we offer. So we'll be more than happy to help you with all of that. So let me know how we can help you. I appreciate you guys. I thank you very much. If you have questions, feel free to drop those in the comments, or shoot us a message, or you can give us a call at 1-833-BIBLE-BIZ. And have an amazing, amazing day. And you guys take care. Again, it's Cathy McReynolds signing off. Look forward to talking to you. Make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification button, so that when we are live, you'll get notified by it, and join our email family so that you'll get our daily training and tips. All right, guys, have a great day, and we will